Welcome to Very Scary with Gerry McCreary. My name is Gerry McCreary, and I'll be your host. We are going to be discussing the fearsome, the fiendish, and the fanatical. Tonight's sponsor is Blue Book Beer. It's Area 51 proof, straight from the Roswell. All right, my guests tonight are Norman Beers, he's a werebear, and Clive Curtis, undercover alien. So, Norman, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Yeah, so you're a werebear.
Yep.
Do you know, pardon me, Waldo? Was Waldo a werebear?
Well, he wishes he was. I think deep down, everybody wishes that they could just go crazy. Every time the moon is full, just howl at the moon and just, become a werewolf. But if you're luckier than most people, you become a werebear like me.
Well, so what do werebears howl at?
Cave entrances.
Is it something that you find joy in, howling at cave entrances? Do you actually go looking for cave entrances just so that you can howl? Or do you sit inside of a cave so that you can howl outside of them? I mean, what's your...
Keep them coming. You're giving me great ideas on how to enjoy the howling at cave entrances. All I can tell you is that I think deep down inside every bear, there's this feeling of, there's the entrance to the cave. I'm coming out of hibernation. Look out, ladies, here I come. That kind of idea. And so you just want to go, whoa, whoa.
That sounded very bear-like. I'll have to tell you. I mean, you don't look like a bear right now, but you sound an awful lot like a bear. Now, when you become a bear, let's just take a step back here. What are the mechanics of being a werebear?
Well, first of all, when the moon is full, all of a sudden the hairs just start prickling out of your back. You get a hankering for salmon and berries. You just start running up and down looking for picnic baskets and stuff like that.
So it was Yogi Bear a werebear?
Well, he was a yoga instructor.
Oh, very interesting. So werebears would actually stretch and relax with yogi. Is that right?
Yes. The hot yoga that Boo Boo invented is a little bit controversial. But the idea is that you find a cave, you fill it with hot rocks, and then you have you have Yogi up there eating out of his picnic basket, and he's telling you into the position a little bit more.
Very interesting. Now I'm gonna ask a question here of our other guest, Norman Beers. I'm sorry, no, Norman. We were just talking. Thank you, Norman. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Clive Curtis.
Thank you for having me on your show very much.
Well, it's wonderful to have you, and I was just curious, as a deep cover alien agent.
Secret.
I'm sorry. It's a secret.
Do not tell anyone.
Nobody listens to the show. So
excellent.
Yes. Well, I was just curious. Do you have an opinion of yoga?
It's creamy, and I like it when the berries are on the bottom and you mix it up.
I see. Now, I'd like to point out that we do have a no dodging questions rule here at Very Scary with Gerry McCreary.
What do you mean by dodging questions?
That we do press you. That you do need to answer the question as asked. However,
why would I not answer a question?
Because you are of a foreign variety, and you didn't understand the question, I'm going to let it pass this time. But generally speaking, we do not let people dodge questions, and I'd like you to know that this was the first dodge question and the last dodge question. I'm going to let you get by.
I did not see the dodging.
That's well.
I apologize for my behavior.
You didn't see it because you dodged very well. So now you're, well, we're not allowed to say it, but you are an agent of a certain sort.
All of my life.
All of your life, I see. And
from birth, I infiltrated from Undercover. I came out, popped out, and there I was, from the mothership.
So from the mothership, you popped out.
My mama.
Your mama. So is a mothership? Are the motherships your actual parents?
For me, that is, and I assume my entire alien species race. Yes.
So how now? Can you just tell us for a moment what's the difference between the type of alien you are and the type of illegal aliens that many politicians speak of?
I have a birth certificate of American origin.
Did you get that when you were birthed from
The mothership.
The mothership?
They thought of everything.
Where did the mothership birth you?
At Swedish hospital.
Swedish hospital. Is
But
that
it's not in
Is it-
Swedenland. It is actually here in Colorado
it's called the Swedish hospital.
for some reason.
Okay.
But they do not fly the flag of the Swedish.
Or do they only have Swedish people working at the hospital?
I've been back many times, and I've seen mostly Americans that are not Swedish.
Interesting. But
I
do you
did
believe
find-
that they're of Swedish descent?
I assume so. They do have Swedish fish in the vending machines, which are not fish at all. They're little candies.
Mr. Beers, have you ever been to the Swedish hospital?
Yeah, I love those fish. Yeah, I wish they tasted more like salmon.
So, when, just out of curiosity, when you're not in your bear form, do you chase salmon upstream?
I have to admit, I do a lot of that.
So, what's the difference between you being a bear and you not being a bear? How does your behavior change?
It's kind of subtle, to tell you the truth. I mean, I after changing a few times, I think I took on a lot of bear qualities.
Do you watch the same television shows?
You know, I used to watch every different version of Star Trek, but now I prefer Star Wars because there's that one character who's so much like a bear.
Would that be the Ewoks?
Oh, I can't believe you said that. I'll let you pass this time.
I'm sorry, is that a bad word in werebear circles?
Say yes to Wookiees, say no to Ewoks.
Oh, I see. So you like the tall fuzzy guys in Star Wars. Now you're only 5'2", so what's the
I think it was because of the bear that turned me. I mean, it's every werebear is bit by another werebear. In my case, it was a very tall bear. He was a circus bear named Babadoo, Ballyhoo, something like that. And he was riding on a unicycle, and I was like, hey bear, and he bit me. And the next time there was a full moon, at towards cave entrances.
Well, that sounds painful. Was it painful?
Yes, it hurts. You know what it's like when you've got a belt and you notch the belt in and you have to start poking new holes in it. Now just imagine that you're the belt. That's how much it hurts.
I would like to say that although I do not participate or understand the bear community, I fully support you in your choice and your punching holes in belts.
Thank you.
So as an agent, Mr. Clive Curtis.
Yes, thank you very much.
As an agent, and an agent of clandestine
of hush
origin.
hush secretly.
Well, what kind of disguises do you use? I mean, in some ways, you're very much like a werebear yourself.
I just assume the identity I have, and no one questions me.
How would you, just to our folks on the radio here, how would you describe yourself?
I am average 5'10", with the standard length hair that could be either brown or black, depending on where the light is hitting. And I blend in very well. I do not wear any logos on my clothes, and this makes it easy for the looking at things secretly.
So do you consider a man bun to be average hair?
Oh, the man bun, that's another alien race you should watch out for. They are very scary.
Then we should have them on the show.
They might hurt you.
But the name of the show is Very Scary with Gerry McCreary because we're not scared of very scary things. We have conversations with them.
Oh, I don't think you should just sneeze at the man bun crowd. There's some fearsome aliens.
I agree with you. Sneezing is considered rude in many cultures, both human and alien. We have learned that over the years. We once had a fella from SETI Minor 6. You probably know them.
Yes.
And sneezing was something that, wow, if you sneezed, their heads popped off their shoulders and they rolled around on the floor, and they were very upset. They were very upset with us. So we don't do the sneezing anymore in here. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to ask our electronic voice assistant, Sabrina, when was the last time someone sneezed at one of our shows?
You are asking the last time somebody sneezed in this studio. It was approximately 7 days and 24 minutes ago.
Thank you, Sabrina. That's very pertinent information. So, all right. Are any of you feeling any allergies coming on right now?
That entry was week. A week. 7 days is a week.
That's it's amazing how much information you've learned in the amount of time that you've been here. How long have you been here? Our planet Earth. We call it Earth.
Aarth.
Aarth. Is that what you call it? Where you come from?
From yes.
That's fascinating. And what is the planet that you come from?
I was born here on Earth.
I see.
From the mothership.
From the mothership.
Were you not listening in the first part of the show?
But I mean, where was your mothership from?
She is from California.
I see.
From her mothership.
Oh, I see. And where was the original mothership from? What's the foreign planet?
I have not paid the $400 for genealogy yet.
I see. They do wonders. I found out that I was 5/16 Bulgarian.
You should see a doctor about that.
Well, I plan to do that just after the show. So thank you for reminding me.
You're very welcome.
Yes, there's actually quite a bit of a fee if I miss that appointment. So thank you. So what is the most surprising thing about human food for you?
I will need to digest on that question for a minute, please.
Please do. So, Mr. Beers, what do you think about teddy bears?
Teddy bears they're a controversial subject. I think the real problem with teddy bears is that whenever there's a super blue blood moon like we had last month, the teddy bears have a tendency to turn into little human stuffed creatures. And they squirm around and make weird ook noises.
I did hear, or rather read some news stories, not the most reputable papers, but there were several gossip mags that were talking about the Iggly Wiggly teddy bears that turned into human bears. And a lot of people were very freaked out by that.
Yeah. Never feed them after midnight. Don't get them wet.
Well, we have a lot of paper towels here just in case the teddy bear collection that I have on this wall here gets wet. So now, during the super blue funky moon, whatever it was called, I can't remember.
Super blue moon?
The super blue moon, was that what it's called?
That's what.
Super blue blood moon.
No, very good. Yes, I was not here. That was I had the day off, so we were doing reruns on that day, so I did not get to see what happened to my teddy bears. But they're right there. They're right there in the collection, and
I guarantee they turned human. They writhed around in a strange sort of ecstatic agony, like they just couldn't get enough of the pain, and they went Metamucil.
Oh, like Republicans.
Yes.
It's funny that many people are reminded of Republicans when they think of Metamucil.
I know I am.
Speaking of, I have figured out your answer to that question.
Oh yes, what was the question again? Could you repeat the question?
Me. I will not dodge that question to repeat the question.
Thank you.
It was something
It was
about.
more of a request.
It was something like human food. What do I find the strangest thing to be about human food?
Yes, yes.
What I find strange is that when humans start out, they have delicious food delivered from the most exquisite source. But as they grow up, they are denied this.
What's the exquisite source?
That would be from the mothership itself.
The mothership. Okay.
Mothership's milk.
How did they? Well, how did you feast in the mothership's milk?
You stay abreast of the situation.
Very good, very good. Do you have opinions on teddy bears?
I like your collection, but it confuses me.
Do you have a favorite teddy bear? Is there one up here that you think is nice?
The one sitting next to me is the nicest one out of the bunch.
Oh, you didn't have to say that.
Well,
Oh, well.
where bearing is where caring.
I'm going to count. That was another dodging of a question, but I'm going to let it pass because it was so adorable. I'm just curious. I'm going to ask our voice assistant, Sabrina, our electronic voice assistant. After the Super Blood Blue Moon, did you observe any evidence of my teddy bear collection turning human?
You turned the computer off, Gerry. I could not see anything.
You need to push the buttons to turn the computer on.
Very well. Okay. Well, in the future, I will be sure to leave Sabrina on overnight. So, moving forward. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back after this word from our sponsor. Hey there. This is Gerry McCreary from Very Scary with Gerry McCreary. Do you ever see a UFO and then are approached by a man in black who says, "Look, pal, you better forget what you just saw. Or else." Well, we have the solution for that. Blue Book Beer. It's Area 51 proof, straight from Roswell. And when you're facing truth or consequences, if you drink enough of this, it'll help you forget every one of them. Blue Book Beer. It's very scary. Welcome back to Very Scary with Gerry McCreary. I am your host, Gerry McCreary. We have Clive Curtis here. He's an undercover alien. Don't tell anyone. I know you won't because I trust you. You're all paranoid. You're more paranoid than anybody. You keep secrets to yourselves. Okay, so, Mr. Curtis.
Yes, Mr. Gerry McCreary?
I'm kind of curious. When did you find out that you were an alien?
That's a very interesting question. I was roughly 7 years old when my neighbor's dog started talking to me and told me that I was an alien.
What language did the
Japanese.
dogs? Japanese.
He was a Shih Tzu. Oh, pardon my language.
Very interesting. No, we accept all types of languages, including Japanese here.
He was also Catholic, so he was a holy Shih Tzu.
That's amazing. It's amazing. I didn't know that they baptized dogs.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. So, did you understand Japanese?
Absolutely.
You did. How many languages do you speak?
All of them.
So, can you list those off?
How much time do you have for your show?
Just what are the ones that you speak best?
Swahili, Wakanda, Japanese, Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, Hong Kong Chinese, and also French, English, gutter slang, yo bro.
Oh, okay.
And Ebonics, Iphonics, Braille. I speak Braille.
Do you speak many dialects?
I speak mini dialects and large dialects. The tiny ones and the big ones.
The tiny ones and the big ones.
So many dialects, the tiny ones.
Okay, so can you speak some Mandarin for me now? Can you say I am a dog lover in Mandarin?
I could, but that might blow my cover. How about if I say "Shei shei ni"?
What does Shei shei mean?
Thank you very much.
Oh, very. What language is that in?
That would be Chinese.
That's Chinese.
Yes.
Oh, very good. Is that the native language of the planet you're from?
My native language cannot be spoken with just one tongue.
So if you had two tongues, would it sound like Chinese?
If I had two tongues, it would sound like my native language.
So but you don't have two tongues?
Not at the moment.
But you used to?
I am going to grow a second tongue when I hit maturity.
Oh, I see. So you're underage.
At the moment, yes.
So
I will also become very popular with the ladies.
I see. I see. Are you allowed to drink where you come from?
How else would you sustain your body liquid capacity?
Well, this is a common misconception here. Well, when I talk about drinking, I'm talking about drinking alcohol. This is something that's restricted to adults
Why?
in our culture.
Why would they restrict drinking?
Drinking alcohol.
Why would they restrict drinking alcohol?
Because alcohol makes you do things that you wouldn't otherwise do.
But it's not restricted for some.
That is correct. People who know better.
Well, that is just stupid.
This is, so the laws are different where you're from.
Absolutely.
Well, what did they allow you to drink?
You can drink what you want.
So are
You
there any
can
restrictions?
dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind.
It's amazing because I've always wanted to leave my friends behind, but I never felt comfortable doing it.
Well, they're your friends. They should let you do what you want with their behind.
That's excellent advice. Excellent advice. And that's why we talk about anal probing as much as we do on this show. Now, does your race anal probe humans?
Not on the first date.
I see. But the third date? Fourth
Third date must be a movie or such a form of entertainment and some eat edibles like dinner and a movie. Second or third date.
And do you use what kind of equipment do you take? Do you take your date, quote unquote date, back to the mothership in order to insert
what kind of
the
man
anal
are you?
probe?
That is gross.
Why? What's
The mothership. You must
Do you
take
carry?
her back to your apartment.
Do you carry the equipment around with you?
Absolutely.
Everywhere.
In my pants. Would you like to see it?
Mr. Beers.
Yeah.
So what do you do on the third date? When do you tell your dates that you're a werebear?
Well, I try to break it to them as softly as I can. I'll say something to them like, if you go down to the woods today, you're in for a big surprise.
Does this involve shitting in the woods?
Well,
Because that's what my understanding is. That's what bears do, and it makes me think that if you're a werebear, then you do that at least part of the
I
time.
thought that was the Pope.
him too.
I thought bears wear hats and the Pope excretes in the woods.
The Pope is a werebear.
Oh.
Is he the wariest bear?
He is.
That's interesting. Does he lead the werebear community?
He does. During that super blue blood moon, the pontiff himself was right up there at the basilica, and he was doing the blessing and everything, and then he just started going haru.
So is Christianity really just a werewolf? Excuse me. Pardon me. I did not mean to offend you. I see that you're very upset
That would be
I
a
said
faux
werewolf.
pas. Yeah, that was a big faux pas.
That was. I apologize.
And bears have very big paws.
You might even say a wolf paw. Oh no, a bear paw.
I think they should find another guest interviewer person.
So
I think so too.
I apologize. I please accept my apologies. But has the Christianity always been a bear cult?
Yeah, well, the thing about the whole bear cult of Christianity, it has a lot more to do with, it's not the stuff you find in the Bible itself. It has more to do with the stuff that you would find underneath the pyramids, down in a corner, in a little dusty little section back there, under the bear rug. And then you find the real stuff, and it's things like, and then a bear shall lead them, and then a bear shall rise up from the sacrifice that he made, and then salmon will flow freely in the land of milk and honey.
Is that why there's a little fish symbol on the back of people's cars?
Exactly.
So this makes me wonder. The whole teach a man to fish thing was really to help the bears, right? Because if humans kept more stores of fish, then bears, the werebears, get more fish. Is that am I close?
Yeah, we've been pretty much controlling humanity for a long time, just encouraging people to stock up on food so that we won't go hungry when we're in our bear form.
So, Mr. Curtis,
I was curious if there's werebears that only change in specific cycles of the calendar, and I think they are called zodiac bears.
Yep. Yep. Now, this is sort of there are major qualities to this, and there are minor qualities to it.
You know, we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we've got some questions from the audience that we're going to ask our guests right after this word from our sponsor.
Hey, baby, you want to have a close encounter?
Oh, Todd, I thought you'd be green, but you're really gray.
Will she say yes or will she say no when she sees his unidentified frothy object? Will it lead to an undeniable female orgasm? UFO, IFO, we all FO when we drink Blue Book beer. Area 51 proof, straight from the Roswell to your mouth. Drink it, Blue Book beer.
Welcome back to Very Scary with Gerry McCreary. I'm Gerry McCreary, and we're going to take some questions from our audience that could be either through phone call or through our email or our Twitter account, which is at Gerry McCreary, Ham Beast Master. So
I love that movie.
it's a wonderful film, and it's better with ham. So, all right, on line 2, we have a question from Maria. Hello, Maria. On line 2. What's your question?
Alors, if they made a sequel to BJ and the Bear, who would you cast as BJ and who would you cast as the Bear?
Well, am I allowed to answer pornographic questions on this show? Because
You're aware of the television show BJ and the Bear from the 1970s?
Well,
Early 1980s?
I've watched my share of the erotic arts that came out of the 70s. I seem to recall that particular porno, but I'd rather not talk about it on the air. So, next question, please.
I would cast Matthew McConaughey as BJ and the little kid who played Webster as the bear.
Is the little kid that played Webster, is he still little?
I do not know. I will check.
All right.
Yes, he is.
Very good. Okay, we have another question here. This one came through from Twitter, and is for Clive.
Thank you very much.
What is your mission on Earth, and how will you accomplish it?
As I understand it, my mission is to learn as much as possible, and then to relate all of that back to my alien race.
And how much have you learned so far?
Quite a bit. I have learned that the American race is de-evolving.
Do you believe that it is de-evolving at a dangerous rate or at just the right rate?
Well, at one point, for 8 years, you were doing very well, and now within the last year, all of that has gone downhill.
I see. Okay, very good. So, all right, we have another question coming in on line 4. We have a question for Norman here. Line 4 from Juneau, Alaska.
Yo, what's up, McCreary? This is Nasty.
Nasty Davis. Oh, it's been a while. How are you and Gina doing?
Doing awesome. She is fine. I got a question for your bear man. Norman, where does a werebear buy what he wears?
Well, that's an interesting question. Bear with me here. Just because I said bear. So, what a lot of people don't realize is that when you, every full moon, change into a bear, there's a lot of hair sprouting up there. And then every time you turn back human again, all of your skin has to go back to being human skin. What happens to all the hair that falls out? And see, this is the thing, is that I can gather up all that hair, and then I can weave it together into a suit. I don't have to buy any more clothes.
What about her suit? You see,
Speaking of suits, how's that lawsuit going, Gerry?
Okay, well, we have to get another caller in here on line 3. I have Susanna on line 3.
Oh, this one is for Clive. Clive, this is Susanna.
Hello, Susanna.
Hello. If we went on a date, what would it be like?
My pants feel funny. A date. Well, if we were on a date, it would probably feel squishy because they are dry and squishy. And it would be very hard for us to be on a date because they're very tiny. A date.
So when you go on dates, when you go on romantic ventures with
romantic
other
venture.
folks, do you usually involve sitting on fruit? Does that involve sitting on fruit? Is that customary amongst your people?
That sounds very stupid. Is that what you do?
It's been known to happen.
I will give it a try.
So what does when you say stupid, does that translate into
that means
English to something
yes.
like wow, that's
Unenlightened.
amazingly beautiful,
Amazingly unenlightened.
and customary.
Customarily unenlightened. So to answer Susanna's question, so that was a romantic thing.
I believe that was my understanding of the question.
Well, because my mission is to find out as much as I could, I would have to get her libated, perhaps with Blue Book beer, and then I would have to probe her and pump her for information.
That Blue Book beer is really tasty, don't you think?
It is delish.
What do you think about that Blue Book beer?
I can tell you've been drinking some.
Norman, that's. I'm sorry. I'm.
Hey, they don't call me Norman Beers for nothing. I'll tell you, it makes the transition into werebear just a mite bit more tolerable.
Well, I'm just looking at the time here, and I realize we are just about at the end of the program. Do you two have anything more that you would like to say before we wrap up here?
I am very interested in seeing your new movie coming out, An American Werebear in London.
Thank you. I'm very proud of it. It was written by some good friends of mine, the Berenstains, and I'm very proud of them. And I just wanted to say to you, those are nice eyes you got there. They're very black, and you got the biggest pupils I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you. I got them from my mother.
All right, folks.
She is now blind.
Well, hey, this has been another wonderful program. I want to thank our guests, Norman Beers, the Werebear, and Clive Curtis, Undercover Alien.
Thank you. Do not tell anyone.
And,
Thank you very much.
That's right. Don't tell anyone anything, because this has been Very Scary with Gerry McCreary. Good night.
You have been listening to Very Scary with Gerry McCreary, starring Gerry McCreary, with guests Norman Beers and Clive Curtis. Produced by David Coyle, Eric Farwell, Troy Fleur, and Laura Kay.